yourself.
And liftoff.
Booster Raptor chamber pressure is nominal.
Vehicle's pitching downrange. Max Q. Stage separation confirmed. And ignition. Bearing separation confirmed. Bearing separation confirmed. Deploy confirmed.
Welcome to our webcast. Today mission is rideshare mission number 1, which we will carry 3 satellite from different company. DongFeng 6G6E from CSSE, Sight from ASX, and the last Planet 01 from OrbitalManuever. Those satellite will be deployed at approximately 30 minutes after the launch. Today deployment will not be shared due to request from our customer. If you can see on your screen, the rocket itself is different from other Gepardo 2. We had some improvement to the rocket to enable great reliability and you guess it, reusability. This rocket is now can be reused over and over again until 10 flight. If you want to watch how we will be reused the rocket, we will shared some video to ya.
Reusability is the key for every rocket in the future. Reusable rockets significantly reduce the costs associated with space missions by eliminating the need to manufacture new rockets for every launch. The expenses related to rocket production are substantially reduced.
With a new upgrade
Gas line
and
calls out.
design Gepardo -2 will be the first reusable small-sat launcher in the world. Gepardo filled with liquid propellant and ready for launch on the launch day. On T0, we begin lifting off the vehicle into space. VHR will start pitching over to decrease stress on the vehicle. During ascent, after 3 minutes into the flight, both engine on the first stage will cut off and begin separated both stages. The first stage will reorientation itself with reaction control system on board. The vehicle will enter Earth atmosphere with high speed and temperature peak at around 1000 Celsius. At around 3000 meter above the sea level, the first stage open its parachute and after a minute later splash down on the Atlantic Ocean, waiting for our recovery vessel to arrive.
We're about 3 minutes before we lifted off the vehicle. Let's watch the vehicle lift off and hearing from the mission control here. We will see you on space.
Pogo bleed verification.
Rock flight on countdown.
Rock.
At this time, can you verify range has restarted telemetry recordings?
Telemetry recorders are running.
MIFCO flight on countdown, please be prepared to issue option when rocket IIP marker passes min-MECO marker and is within dispersed trajectories, calling out at event.
Copies.
ACE, please start PSD recordings and downrange ground station recordings.
Launch auto started.
Stage 2, press for flight.
Flight directors, go for flight.
T-minus 30 seconds and counting.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Ignition. 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Chamber pressures are nominal.
Booster Raptor chamber pressure is nominal.
Break. We
Power
have,
and telemetry nominal.
Total EPS on.
T plus 27 second into the flight, we hear the call out that the vehicle power and telemetry are nominal as we get to period of the greatest stress on the way to space. Next event coming on is max Q, or the highest point on the vehicle during ascent. We will throttling down both engine on the first stage to minimizing the stress on the vehicle.
Acquisition of signal, Corpus Christi.
Both engine are throttling down ahead for max Q.
The vehicle is supersonic.
Gepardo 2 is now traveling more than speed of sound.
Max Q.
As you hear from the mission control, Gepardo 3 is now past trough max Q, and now the vehicle continue ascent to space. As I mentioned before, the view from the second stage will not be showed after staging due to mission requirement. But as we targeting to splash down the booster at Atlantic Ocean, we will showing view from the first stage during descent as much as possible.
And MVAC engine chill started.
Acquisition of signal, Houston.
Next major activity is staging, which has 3 events. Main engine cutoff, where we cut off all the engine on the first stage, Stage separation, where we separated the booster and the second stage. Second engine start 1, where we start the engine on the second stage for the first time during the mission. The event will occur about a second from now. Let's watch and listen from the mission control.
And Miko.
Stage separation confirmed.
Invec ignition.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
And those 3 event has success. Both stage has separated and the second stage continue its journey into orbit. The first stage has reorientation itself to be ready to splash down at the Atlantic Ocean. If you can see, the reaction control system is working properly to adjust the vehicle at the right angle. The first stage is now traveling more than 1,000 miles per second. As the first stage ray enter Earth atmosphere at high speed, the vehicle will rub and emit a plasma over the vehicle at temperature peak around 1,000 degrees. After the first stage reaching about 2.5 kilometers above sea level, the vehicle will open the parachute to slow down the vehicle to safely splash down at Atlantic Ocean. After the first stage splashdown at Atlantic Ocean, recovery vessel will be arrived with the stage 1 splashdown to bring the first stage back to home to refurbish and reuse for future mission. The first stage altitude peak is now around 140 km above sea level. The booster will not be fully reused on our next mission. The next mission we will reuse one of the engine, then all the engine, and finally we will reuse the entire body of the booster. If you know, this recovery method is not new innovation. This method actually used on Space Shuttle booster.
Expected loss of signal, Cape.
We just lost the signal from the first stage. Don't worry, this was expected and to be occur before splashdown. As I said before, we will get a view from the first stage as much as we can.
Stage 1, entry transonic.
The first stage successfully opened its main parachute, and now the first stage on its way to splashdown at Atlantic Ocean.
Stage 1, nominal landing confirmed.
The stage 1 has successfully splashed down. The stage 1 has successfully splashed down at Atlantic Ocean, leading the mission to end, and now waiting its recovery vessel to arrive and bring the booster back home to refurbish, testing, and reuse the booster. The booster will not be fully reused for next mission. Next mission we will reuse only the engine to test and improve the engine, and for future mission we will reuse both engine, and lastly reuse the entire booster for the first time. As no more event coming on, we will end our webcast here. We have a 2 mission left started 12 hours after this mission. We will launching Agrix demo flight, which Agrix will fly into space for the first time. And we have Lelkweb station module launched on Gepardo, to which about 24 hours from now. We thank you to our customer, Cobra Seal Space Exploration, Atlantic Space Exploration, and OrbitalManuever for entrusting us to launch their payload with us. We also want to give a shout out to Federal Aviation Administration, range and government to support and encourage the mission. Thank you so much for watching, and see you about an hour later. Have a good night from Lucayan.
you